The Subcommittee on Indian and Insular Affairs will come to order. Without objection, the Chair is authorized to declare recess of the Subcommittee at any time. The Subcommittee is meeting today to hear testimony on advancing tribal self-determination, examining the opportunities and challenges of the 477 program. Under Committee Rule 4F, any oral opening statements at hearings are limited to the Chairman and the ranking minority member. I therefore ask unanimous consent that all other members' opening statements be made part of the hearing record if they are submitted in accordance with Committee Rule 3.0. Without objection, so ordered. I will now recognize myself for an opening statement. Today, this subcommittee will hear testimony on advancing tribal self-determination, examining the opportunities and challenges of the 477 program. This continues the subcommittee's focus on tribal autonomy and the ways Congress can support tribal self-determination, which has been one of the priorities that we have pursued over the last year since I have been chairman of this subcommittee. In 1992, the Indian Employment Training and Related Services Demonstration Act was signed into law. The act authorized a demonstration program that enables tribes to coordinate and integrate multiple federal programs focused on employment and related support services into one program with one budget and one annual report. We now know this program as the 477 program, referencing the public law number that established it. Over the past 3 decades, the 477 program has been highly successful. Current statistics show 78 active 477 plans across 38 federal programs, representing approximately 300 tribes. Tribes continue to use and integrate new federal programs into their tribal 477 plans, citing the benefits of budget flexibility, reduced inefficiencies, and ability to prioritize the programs that best help their tribal members. When a tribe seeks to establish a 477 program, tribal members seeking to gain job skills or find better employment can often fill out one form and go through one process rather than needing to apply to multiple programs and to fill out multiple forms. This flexibility and streamlined reporting allows these 477 programs to focus more on providing assistance and guidance to tribal members rather than spending those resources on multiple burdensome reporting requirements. In 2017, Congress passed the Indian Employment Training and Related Services Consolidation Act of 2017, which made the 477 program permanent, expanded the number of eligible secretarial departments to 12, and cemented the Bureau of Indian Affairs' role as the lead agency for the 477 program through the Division of Workforce Development. The 2017 amendments also required a Memorandum of Agreement, or MOA, to be completed by all 12 secretarial departments, outlining how the law would be implemented. However, the first MOA, released in 2018, was released and signed by all parties without any tribal consultation. It was also criticized by both tribes and the members of Congress as something that did not follow the intent and letter of the 2017 amendments. A new MOA was written and finalized with tribal input in 2022, and all 12 secretarial departments signed the new MOA, and the BIA and tribes are now in the process of implementing and operating under it. This subcommittee has heard concerns from tribes related to the implementation of the 2022 MOA, particularly with adding new programs to a tribal 477 program and ongoing challenges of 477 program funds not being released to the tribes in a timely manner. I will also mention that the American Indian Population and Labor Force Report has not been published biannually as required by law, since the responsibility was moved by the 2017 amendments from the BIA to the Department of Labor. I look forward to a robust discussion today about some of the challenges the tribes have encountered when they seek to expand their 477 programs. I want to thank the witnesses for being with us today and look forward to continuing the conversation on improving tools that are available to support tribal self-determination. The chair now recognizes the ranking minority member for her statement.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, for holding this hearing, and thank you to each of our witnesses for coming to D.C. I traveled with some of you to share your stories and experience, because it is essential that we hear directly by those who are most impacted about both the obstacles and what it means when those obstacles are removed. The Public Law 102-477 really allows tribes to work with the Department of the Interior to consolidate federal funding and programs for employment and training across 12 separate agencies and managed under one 477 plan. We have heard repeatedly how important this is because we should not limit ourselves just to the Department of Interior or IHS. There are so many other ways in which tribes interact with the federal government, and we must incorporate them and encourage tribes to take over this because they know best how to handle issues on their own reservations and for the people that are their constituents. In this subcommittee, we often hear about the administrative burdens tribes face in accessing those federal programs and funding. The 477 program is one of those key programs to address that issue of accessing federal programs, and it can considerably lower the administrative burden tribes face and simplify the reporting process. The program gives tribes the authority to design and implement workforce development and job training programs that can address critical workforce needs in their communities and ultimately support tribal self-determination. The program's track record of success has led to the Department of Interior overseeing 78 477 plans representing 298 federally recognized tribes. Over half of all federally recognized tribes are using this program. In my home state of New Mexico, the Pueblo of Laguna was one of the first tribes in the state to use the 477 program, and I know of its success there. They have used it to provide work experience opportunities to youth, train and certify more teachers, and support vocational rehabilitation services for their community. In 2022, the Biden administration renegotiated the interagency memorandum agreement on the implementation of the program. This new MOA resulted in an increase in proposals for the 477 program. The 2022 MOA streamlined plan approvals and reaffirmed the authority of the Secretary of Interior to approve those 477 plans. And most importantly, the agencies worked directly with tribes and incorporated feedback from the tribes themselves, which sounds like it would be a no-brainer to do that, right? This is about providing you with the funds you need to carry out this workforce training. Unfortunately, as the chair noted, the prior administration had not incorporated and conducted this consultation when that was negotiated in the 477 in 2018. I look forward to hearing from the tribal witnesses here today regarding the impact of the program and success stories we can build on. I also know there have been issues with certain agencies following the intent of the law and that there have been delays and that those delays directly impact tribes trying to provide these services. I want to make sure that we engage and are honest about those challenges and how things like actually talking about it out loud can sometimes unstick things. Right? I say in my office that we're the WD-40 for federal agencies, and the WD-40 should be applied liberally because too many things get stuck, don't they, Madam Chair? So the 477 program should be a model to follow across all agencies to ensure programs work efficiently for tribes and that we are indeed supporting economic development and tribal self-determination throughout Indian country. Thank you again to all the witnesses, and thank you for holding this hearing, Madam Chair. I yield back.
Thank you very much. And now I will introduce the witnesses for our panel. The Honorable Bryan Newland, Assistant Secretary for Indian Affairs, Department of Interior, Washington, D.C. You probably sometimes feel like you live here. Maybe there's a sleeping bag under the desk up here. But thank you for coming back and keeping us informed of what is going on with your agency. The Honorable Billy Friend, Chief Wyandotte Nation, Wyandotte, Oklahoma. Thank you for being here. The Honorable Lee Spoonhunter, Co-Chair, Northern Arapaho Business Council, Ethete, Wyoming. It's always wonderful to have you testifying before our committee. And Margaret Zientek, Co-Chair, PL 102-477 Tribal Working Group, Shawnee, Oklahoma. Welcome, and we appreciate you being here and look forward to hearing your testimony. Let me remind the witnesses that under committee rules, they must limit their oral statements to 5 minutes, but their entire statement will appear in the hearing record. To begin your testimony, please press the talk button on the microphone, and we use timing lights. When you begin, the light will turn green. When you have 1 minute left, the light will turn yellow. And at the end of 5 minutes, the light will turn red, and I will ask you to please complete your statement. I will also allow all witnesses on the panel to testify before member questioning. The chair now recognizes the Honorable Bryan Newland for 5 minutes.